Ingrid, let me turn to you now. We talked about some of the roadblocks you suffered with, and your oldest child suffered. You've also had some positive experiences, and I know you worked with Nancy at George Webster. Can you talk about some of the skills you developed as a parent in learning to find pathways that really worked for your kids?
Well, the great thing about George Webster, when I decided to accept the placement for my son OJ at George Webster, which is one of the TDSB's model schools, it really was a turning point in our lives. When I met with Nancy to tour the school, I knew that this school was going to change his life. My son was diagnosed with mild autism. He spent his first year in school completely unengaged, and he was mostly nonverbal outside of our family unit. When we went to George Webster, the great thing about the model schools is that they have a parent capacity building and service model built right into the school. So I was completely engaged and brought on board as part of the school team. When I met with Nancy, the special education teacher, psychologist, and that whole team of professionals, I was a little intimidated at first. I didn't know what to expect, and I was so used to the traditional school model where the schools tell you what your child needs, and they tell you how to do it and what is important and how your child is. The difference with this was that I was allowed to put on a professional cap, and they told me that you are the expert on your child, and we want to hear from you. We want you to tell us what he is like, how he learns, how he behaves, and that was completely novel to me. And so I was also nurtured along in understanding his unique needs and how to support them. Though one of the wonderful things was that in the summer before school even started, his new teacher called us up and asked to meet with us before school even began, and she insisted that every member of our immediate family had to be there. So we went to meet with her. She asked us all individually questions about what we thought of OJ, our perspectives on him and what he liked and how he behaved. So that fostered partnership. She then tried to engage with OJ right away, and so she initiated building a relationship with him. She used all the information that we gave her to create this amazing learning program for him based on all the information we gave him and what he liked and what he was passionate about, which you know kids with autism, it has to do with cars. And so that was collaboration. She had very high expectations for him, and for the first time, he produced written work via the computer. He was so comfortable in the school environment in a way that we had never seen outside her family, that he was being integrated into the mainstream classroom, and he read to the whole senior kindergarten classroom the Dr. Seuss book, Green Eggs and Ham. And so that gave him an experience in displaying his ability. No one outside of our family at that time knew that he was able to read since he was 3 years old. So being at George Webster just lit a light underneath him, and he's been shining ever since. The programs that they had there built my capacity to not only support his learning, but also to learn about the Toronto District School Board system, which I hadn't known with my eldest, and so prevented me in being able to adequately advocate for her. So that was some of the examples of the things that I learned through George Webster.
Ingrid.